Well, are you ready for some football? You better be. It's week 4. Time to talk fantasy football with Jeff Corcini and Russ Bliss from fantasyfootballstarters.com. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Week 4, some good pigskin to be had today.
Yeah, now we're starting to see some trends, Ben.
Yep.
So I'm going to talk about some of the positive trends we're seeing. And for example, right now with Dallas, Marion Barber, who's one of the running backs who looks like he's really solidified his spot as a starter last year. They didn't know if he was going to be a good starter or not because Julius Jones left. He's looking like a good pick, somebody that you may want to go after or keep definitely if you have on your team. Another player is Frank Gore, running back, San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
Looks like he's got a positive trend. He's going to be a player this year. I think that with the addition of Mike March as the offensive coordinator, he's going to be solid. And then there's Brandon Marshall, wide receiver for Denver Broncos. Jay Cutler and him are starting to hook up. This guy has really been on a tear the last 3 weeks. So that's one of the positive trends that we're seeing going on right now.
What's the biggest surprise, would you say, so far this year? I mean, what player, you know, you have one, Marcus Colston with the Saints, certainly a couple of years ago. You have one of these outstanding players. Anybody that's on your radar?
Russ?
Any little gem for us?
I'll turn that over to Russ. What do you think, Russ?
Well, Michael Turner with the Atlanta Falcons has definitely been one of those guys that surprised. In 2 games so far this season where Michael Turner has had poor matchups, or 1 game that he had a poor matchup, he didn't produce. But in 2 others where he had good matchups, he certainly went out there, scored 5 touchdowns, has just been really good for Atlanta. As long as the Falcons aren't falling behind in games, Michael Turner's a great play.
So there's the little pocket ace. Now, who do you bounce? Who do you take off your team? What do you need to be looking for? You know, if you got to get rid of somebody.
Good one. I'll go with Steven Jackson.
Really?
Yeah, St. Louis Rams. I mean, we were just talking about this before, and Scott Linehan has already said that he's benched his quarterback, Mark Bulger. He's going to go with Trent Green. But I would say dump Steven Jackson. And he's already starting to bicker a little bit. He signs a big contract with the Rams. He's not happy. They're not doing real well. I think he's going to be a dud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this isn't, I guess, fantasy football so much, but do you think Dallas is America's team again?
Oh, no.
I'm just saying they're playing some good football.
Well, we'll see what happens. You know, when Romo gets into the playoffs, you know, it's a different game with him. But yeah, from a fantasy perspective, you got to think Romo, T.O., Marion Barber, those guys are playing.
Quarterbacks.
Who's
dropping the ball, no pun intended, in terms of quarterbacks?
Well, as far as the quarterbacks go, you're looking at a guy like Matt Schaub in Houston right now who's really struggling. He's got a backup in Sage Rosenfels that played really well last year when he was asked to come in because Schaub had struggles and also had injuries last year. So if Matt Schaub has another poor game this week, it would not be a surprise at all to see Sage Rosenfels get in. Also, in Cleveland, Derek Anderson gets one more chance to lead the Cleveland Browns. If he does not produce this week against Cincinnati, you're definitely going to see Brady Quinn, the former first-round pick, get an opportunity to lead that team. And then, as we just talked about with the St. Louis Rams, Trent Green is going to start this week. But this is only a stopgap. If Scott Linehan, the head coach of the Rams, if the Rams lose against Buffalo this week, the Rams are probably going to fire Scott Linehan, and I'm willing to bet that whoever takes over, and it'll probably be Jim Haslett, the defensive coordinator, I think that they'll reinstitute Mark Bulger as the starting quarterback for St. Louis.
That's not a problem in in Arizona, though.
Why?
With Kurt Warner, he's solidified it.
Yeah.
And you know, every week we talk about a Cardinal player, and this week we're going to talk about Anquan Bolden. He is the guy. They're going up against the Jets. We think he is going to be a great play this week. So if you've got him on your roster, you definitely want to start him. He's the guy that takes those passes over the middle. I know he was complaining a little bit early on about his contract. But,
a bit.
Yeah, but you know what? It looks like he's happy. They're winning, and we think he's going to be a great player.
I mean, after the Jets last week, I can't see the Cardinals doing too poorly.
I hope not. That's what we think. We think they're going to win. So.
Well, we're going to see. We're going to come back next Sunday and talk about these teams, too.
You got it. And then we do our gift card giveaway.
Yep.
And this week, whoever emails Jeff at fantasyfootballstarters.com with the name of the player that scored 4 touchdowns last week against the New England Patriots, and we know somebody in this studio is disappointed about that.
Because nobody has Google. It's going to be a tough find. No, I'm kidding. Hey, we'll see next week. Sounds like some good tips. I'm going to have to look at my team and mix some things up, I guess. Jeff, thank you guys so much.
You bet.
Appreciate it. And we'll be back with